Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria. And today we are doing Marple's Charmed Ending. So I've already loaded for the save, the common save that we did. So this one, Akechi's route was about 30 minutes, but we did a lot of skipping. This one, though, I think when we go through the little picnic time, we have to choose different things. So we might see some different scenarios there, but anyway, we will. Okay, we're supposed to let the timer run out on this. Okay. Doop. And then we choose. Okay, hold on. First word is my, which we've already done, and then we skip. And we let the timer run out. We're like, I don't know, Akechi. I don't know, I give up. Boop. We don't have time for this, Akechi. Give up. I tried once and I was like, I don't know, give up. Anyway. So we give up. Sorry, Akechi. We can't help you. So, here we go. We get to do it again. Who shall I invite? Holmes. And we watch what he's doing. Oh. Okay, we've already done this. Watson. I don't know why we're... Watch what he's doing. So we've already done all this. Huh. Marple, we call out to her. Which I don't think we were supposed to do. Right? I don't know why it said to do it again, but it did, so... Call out to her. Someone else. Lupin. Oh, why am I doing this again? I don't know, but... Play a practical joke on him. And then we go Hudson. Join in on the fun. Okay. I'm not really sure why we're... Hudson. Joined in on the fun. And then we do Akechi and we watch him sleep. I don't know why we were told to do this again. Because we got everyone to come, right? So we're in Kobayashi, right? I'm not sure why we're... Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe in this instance, there's different choices. Like, they're slightly different. Because Marple never helped us before. So anyway, I hope I can pack everything. I reached out the basket before we sent about packing everything away. Okay. God damn it, thing. Come on. Look, there we go. See, that's what I hate. She says something, but it doesn't. That looks like a fair bit of work, Spacey. Shall I help? Oh, Marple, I'll be all right on my own, you know. Don't be that way. Come now, let me give you a hand. Marple went right to work, picking up everything near to me in a practiced efficiency. I guess because maybe there's certain things, they all ended up going, but I guess maybe there's options where they don't go and maybe there's options where they do. And choosing, I don't know, because we always skip it and I can't remember what I chose the first time. Because obviously something about this pushes it toward Marple as opposed to anybody else. So I don't know. This fog has gotten thick. It certainly has. We need to get to the carriage before it gets worse. As I'd started panicking, I hastily retrieved all the baskets and stood. And then, as I turned to where Marple should have been standing next to me, I saw nothing except a wall of dense fog. Marple? No response came. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness welling within myself. Where are you, Marple? I made to move in a panic before being stopped. Don't worry, Spacey. I'm right here. I felt her gently take my hand. Seeing her smile, all that nervousness that had been building was gone in an instant. And see, we didn't get ourselves in trouble! Marple is our fucking hero! You really frightened me, I'll have you know. I thought you left me by my lonesome. You're something of a scaredy cat, aren't you? I can't help it. I'll give you a little secret. I was scared too. And let's stay here until the fog clears. Of course. We'll cheat on. Marple being next to me was a great comfort, and together we waited for the fog to clear. The end. No, now we get her ending, So it took less time because we didn't skip through as much stuff in hers, but another cup of tea. That picnic in Hyde Park was the most fun I'd had in ages. I couldn't picture a day more perfect than one spent outdoors with food and good company, and the weather was so agreeable to the occasion. I noticed the picnic baskets I had taken with me were still settled out of their usual place and recalled my trip. What sweet nostalgia it was that had overtaken me. I'm sure it was, and a good thing these were with you, and these baskets were among your mother's most treasured possessions. She treasured wicker basket. Oh, man. I have a lot of treasured possessions, but I don't think any wicker baskets are amongst them. Just saying. All my things. Pendleton would be like, this is your most treasured possession, and this and this. All of it is. I love my things, Pendleton. But like the wicker baskets, I wouldn't, I don't really have any, but. Did she love picnics as much as I do? I wouldn't say quite as much, no. When she was young, such pastimes were not popular in England. In fact, it's only become something one does very recently. The nobility in her youth considered sitting on the grass with friends whilst eating to be quite vulgar. To sit as a family in one's garden with a table and chairs was practiced, as it still is by many, but anything more than that was certainly not to their taste. I never knew. Mother was a progressive woman in more ways than one, I see. From what I recall, she one day hoped to enjoy a picnic with these very baskets when you were old enough to accompany her. Really? And that you'd use them and had such fun, I'm sure. Oh, ahem. And that you've used them and had such fun has, I'm sure, made her very happy in heaven. And there'll be plenty more chances to enjoy picnics with your friends again, too. I'm not doing Pendleton's voice right. I don't know what the fuck is happening, but whatever. I'm sorry, Pendleton, I love you, but I can't do your voice right now. Oh, yes, I'd love to go many times more. If I were to ask who your closest friend is, would you say Miss Marple, I suppose? Indeed, she has a brilliant mind. She's kind as any person I've ever met, and, well, simply being with her lifts my spirits. Girlfriend Mance. Girl-mance. Treasure her, my lady. A friend with whom you feel both affection and admiration is a rare gift worth keeping. Yes, I tend to keep her as my lover. May she always remain a dear person in your life. His piece said, Pendleton gave a brief bow to dismiss himself and took the picnic baskets away. I expected the next day at school to be nothing of note. The picnic was loads of fun, wasn't it? Yes, I couldn't agree more. Marple smiled at me. I know. How would you like to go for another one this Sunday? I wouldn't be opposed to it. And let's go on one where it's just the two of us before it gets too cold. I should like it to be somewhere other than Hyde Park, however. Well, then another place it shall be. I'll start looking. A surge of happiness welled within me to see her so willing to join. Her smile was lovely. I would have to look for a suitable place quickly. And when her pretty smile turned mischievous at my proposal, I let out a giggle in return. Oh my god, this is such a girl-mance. As time went on, we grew closer. Our days together were spent fondly. Some days were but a fine cup of tea and conversation. Others would have us engaged in complex cases, with her as the lead and me as the assistant. Oh my god! It's literally like Kobayashi's like, I'm gonna come back and you'll be my assistant. You're like, oh, you're in love with me, we're gonna get married, and that's what it is. And this is like, oh my god, we're like lesbians and like, what fucking decade, what century is this? I don't know. Anyway, that's so cute. A new event was upon us just before the start of the new school term. It's so beautiful here. This way, Marple! Marple and I had come on holiday to the town of Chipping Camden, northwest of London. We were to visit the mansion I lived in as a girl. Look, there are wild rabbits over there. You find them just about everywhere in this area. I would often chase them around as a child. That sounds like something you would still do if I'm honest. I would not! You'll not convince me so easily, dear. Marple's like, please chase them, because I would also like to chase the fluffy bunnies. And if you chase them, I shall chase them as well. She then walked off alone. Wait, Marple! These are white clovers, aren't they? Do you know how to make a flower wreath, Spacey? No, do you? Quite well. Her fingers, delicate and pretty from that touch of having done much women's work, worked carefully to make a wreath from white clovers. Her skill was as such that she made this look very simple. When she finished, cradled in her hands was a lovely flower wreath that possessed not a single flaw in its design. My word, what gorgeous work! It isn't that difficult. Why not give it a try? Please! I sat down next to her, shoulders touching, whilst I learned to absorb her tutelage more closely while I leaned in. Okay, I get it. I know. Anyway, tutelage more closely, and tried to construct a similar wreath of my own. Tried. Indeed, its final quality was not up to anyone's standard. Ladies, the carriage is here. Coming! We'll be right there. The day gave us both such joy that even as it was nearing its end, we bounded on the way to the carriage with a light skip, grinning and laughing all the while like sisters on the way home from Sunday church. They're like 16 years old, and they're like, hey! It's fucking adorable. I just kind of love it. You know, you're just sitting there, like, doesn't matter how old you are, you're like, I want to go in a field and make flower wreaths with my best friend and then go skipping around. I want to do that when I'm like 60, and people will be like, what is wrong with those crazy old ladies? It was time to visit my childhood home. As the carriage clacked, I felt that distinct thump within my chest that one has upon the past being revisited. I feel so at peace here. It reminds me of where I grew up, St. Mary Mead. Now I remember. You were raised by your grandmother, weren't you? She's made a name for herself as a splendid detective in her own right. That's right. She would always go on endlessly about the village's affairs and nothing else, and so I did have a few grievances. Yet I was fond of it. I like living in London as well, but my way of life before was more relaxing. You always struck me as very relaxed in London. As very relaxed, not as a... Have I? We arrived. I was eager to show Marple a tour of the inside. Is this yours, Spacey? Fucking love those chairs. Oh, that sewing machine belonged to my wet nurse. It doesn't look like it's broken. May I play with it? Would that be all right, Pendleton? Of course. Everything in this mansion belongs to House Whitley, so you may both use it however you wish. Thank you, Pendleton. Let's see... What is it? I was thinking that I've no idea how to sew. Allow me then. I'll show you. Marple put her foot rhythmically on the sewing machine's pedal. Each time it responded with a light click. What luck that it still worked! Goodness, you're quite familiar with sewing machines, aren't you? Well, back when I lived in the countryside, I would make dresses for myself. If you've any fabric to spare, I could make us a set of matching placemats. How sweet of you! Wait here, I'll bring some right away. I went to gather some fabric, and Marple set about sewing it into placemats for when we went out on our picnics. Yeah, like she didn't just make fucking placemats, she fucking made lace too, bitch shit. As with all things she did, she spared no effort and made it look easy to do so. The placemats she created were expertly stitched in shape and made ever so adorable with white lace around their edges. I'm sorry, that's like fucking seafoam lace and like a peachy pink kind of lace. Don't give me that bullshit. What a day this has been. You really can do everything. And that's not true. I've never been very good with gardening, you know. I just can't take all those insects. Oh, I'm the same. Seeing all the things you can do makes me wish I had some sort of expertise, though. Here's the thought. What if you learned to bake cakes? If you would permit me to borrow this mansion's kitchen, it would be my pleasure to help. Please do! Might you teach me how to make scones in particular? All right, let's get to work. This is going to be the cutest fucking girl-mans ever. We next moved to the, like, fucking, I'm useless as shit, and Marple's like a goddamn goddess. No wonder why we're in love with her. We next moved to the kitchen, and she shared with me her grandmother's recipes so that we can make them together. It was with her that I baked my very first scone and prepared apple jam. My, something in here smells divine. Look at the way Marple is looking at her. Marple's like, yeah, something looks divine too. I ship it. I'm sorry, but if there's a second game, they need to, like, continue the Marple and the Kobayashi Charmed endings into actually, like, romancy paths. That's all. I just need that. Doesn't it just? Marple's teaching me how to make them. Pardon me for taking up your kitchen. Pendleton peeked into the sink with surprise right on his face. Pendleton's like, the fuck? I never thought the day would come when you would take to baking. Surprise was substituted by suspect as he looked at the freshly baked scones. They look as delicious as they smell. Am I correct in assuming that somewhat misshapen one is your work, my lady? Mind your tongue! Her pout! Marple is like, her pout. And Pendleton's like, I'm gonna die if I eat that. Anyway, it is my work. And indeed, it happens to be misshapen, but I don't think it's terrible for my first try. Pendleton? Yes? As Pendleton turned, Marple chanced popping one of the smaller scones into his open mouth. Oh my god, Marple, don't get fresh with my butler. Oh, poor man. It was amongst the hottest on her tray. Mouth is burning. He took to it as well as one could, holding his hand politely over his mouth and swallowing the scalding scone with an inaudible, but almost assuredly painful, gulp. Marple, as though this mild torture against my butler was not yet satisfying enough for her, removed the wooden spoon she had been using to stir the pot of jam, and presented it for him to taste. I have some piping hot apple jam that would pair perfectly with your scone if you'd like. No, I'm quite all right. That's what he gets for making fun of my scone. My bitch defended me. I'm her bitch, actually. My lady defended me against my nasty butler, who I love dearly. That was the fastest I'd ever seen him dash out of the kitchen, or anywhere. Marple, I can't believe what I just witnessed. I've never seen anyone best Pendleton in anything. I'm inspired. Next time I'll make a scone so perfect that he'll sing my praises. Oh, that'll never happen. And just take care not to make more than you can eat. Oh, but of course, she's like, oh, I can eat all the fucking scones. Pendleton tells me all the time because I'm fat. Pendleton makes fun of me for being fat. It reminds me how fat I am. Bird! Stop it. It was the next day, the day of our picnic. Marple and I set off with a pleased air between us, our hard work having produced fine results like the scones, jam, and sandwiches, all of which would be finer once in our stomachs. As I look back, I realize now that it was the last truly spectacular picnic of the year. We never parted for the entire day. Together we went. Together we found a place to enjoy the sun. Together we spread our newly sown placemats. And together we talked over delicious food that we baked with heart. Together. And what better way was there to celebrate well-made food than some tea? Oh, and a pity that we're back to school next week. I would have liked to stay here a bit longer. It's funny because, like, she makes it sound like, oh, our picnic arrived, when we were just at school and we asked her next weekend, and now it's next week, we're back to school. It's like, we only got a week vacation. That sucked. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, this is a different picnic and not the one we invited her on, but the way they made it sound like, finally, the day of our picnic arrived. Like, the one we just invited her on that seems like it should have been months ago. It's kind of weird, but they just worded it a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, I count myself fortunate for having come here with you at all, really. What if we visited again during our summer holiday next year? We could fish in the duck pond, and we could gather some eggs from the chicken coop.
I think we absolutely should come again. I want to see what this place looks like at the height of summer. You seem to be happier here than in London also.
What? Do I? But I love London. I must look happier now because I'm here with you, Marple. Oh my god, the love is blooming and I love it.
Are you certain it's not because you're full of delicious food?
I'm very certain that's not it. The scent of hay surrounded us. The winds of autumn greeted us, tousled our hair, whispered music into our ears. This weekend in the countryside would become a memory we both cherished. Much had happened during the year. All of it was wonderful, even the moments when I was at my most distressed, for they all led to this time with Marple, and to spend time with her was the most wonderful thing of all. Aw. Oh, no, okay, we're back to school. That was like the perfect place to end it. Anyway, weeks passed. I didn't think much of it till the day we were set to graduate was soon too close to ignore. It doesn't feel like our time here is nearly over. It's gone by so quickly.
It really has. Oh, by the by, have you made progress on your thesis? The cultural impact of traditional furniture, was it?
I wish I could say it's going well. I should have picked a simpler theme, but I chose it, so I shan't complain. And yours? Is it still about fine tea and English women in high society?
I'm almost done with it. I must make sure a few of my facts are indeed accurate, so I'll be going to the library after this. What will you be doing?
I'll join you. At this rate, I fear I won't finish. As we were on our way to the library, we happened upon Holmes and Watson, both of whom were holding borrowed books. Are you two on your way to the library as well? Are your theses going well? Theses? Theses is the plural of thesis? Wow. And we've both finished as it happens. We're currently in the midst of an investigation unrelated to our studies.
He heard his asses for assistance with something. We'll be going in a bit.
How prudent.
My eyes were drawn to another thing Holmes held. A photograph. A familiar one. But why was this so? I could not recall. I can't place it. Perhaps my mind is playing tricks on me. Well, graduation shall come sooner than later. He made to be subtle in how he adjusted himself, but that he did so to hide the photograph from my sight had not escaped my notice. Oh, that it will.
It's hard for me to think about. I'm not quite ready to leave.
Are we going to see each other less after we've graduated?
Not at all. You know where our flat is. You ought to come see us as much as you please.
I might just do that. Thank you. If I may ask, what are your plans upon graduating, Miss Whitley? Mine? I'm just gonna go be rich. I hesitated. What do I want to do? I've never given it much thought. I could become a detective, but I don't know if I'm quite capable of working alone. That thought in mind, I looked down at Her Majesty's ring on my finger and was stunned by its condition. It had lost its brilliant luster. How? Lack of polish on my part? Or something else entirely? So you've yet to decide. I would remind you to consider what you'll do whilst carrying on between cups of tea, because life after school is, believe it or not, a when and not an if. You need to worry about it. I'm rich. I don't gotta worry about shit.
Come now, be kind with her.
Spacey, would you mind going to the library and getting some seats for us? I'll be along in a bit.
I don't mind at all. Goodbye, you two. Take care.
Good luck on your thesis.
I bid a fast farewell to Marple before hurrying to the library. At this time of year, the sixth form students were always in there and huddled over their books, murmuring their studies and fighting through half-opened eyes. The seats would fill up quickly if you weren't timely in getting one for yourself. Miss Marple, I ask that you ensure Miss Whitley stays far away from that case.
You needn't ask. I wish her no more danger than you.
Thank you. You're closer to her than anyone. This is something only you can do.
And I'll do it. I don't want anything that would cause her pain.
I don't want to do anything that would cause her pain. Interesting. More time passed until it was the day of our graduation ceremony. It took a great amount of work on my part, but my thesis was done and submitted on time. My grade wasn't quite as high as Marple's or Holmes's or Watson's, but I finished it. Oh, thank God that I did. This was enough for me to puff out my chest with pride. The Watson got a better grade than you. Surprising only because, holy crap, she scared me. Only because Holmes makes it sound like poor Watson's an idiot, but
May I have a minute of your time, Spacey?
What is it?
I just wanted to tell you that I've enjoyed my days at school so much more since you arrived. Will you stay with me then? Will you keep helping me even after today?
Oh, nothing would make me happier. Oh my god, she's like, she proposed to us and asked us to be her girlfriend. Marple, of course I'll marry you. You plan to open up your own detective agency that serves tea, don't you? It sounds like a dream.
And not immediately, but it's something I'd like to do in the future. I still have a lot to learn and plenty of work to prepare first.
Whenever she spoke like this, I was pinched with loneliness. Oh, speaking truthfully, I haven't a clue what I want to do with my life. I know I must do something. We all do, and yet nothing comes to mind. It's typical. You just graduated high school, take a year off, travel, have some fun with your life, and then figure it out. The only thing I know is that I want to help you until I find a path of my own to follow. I'm aware you asked first, Marple, but if I can ask you the same, may I stay with you? Keep helping you even after today?
Oh, but of course, Spacey. That will be just fine. I'll be counting on you, dear.
Marple smiled her kind, beautiful smile reserved just for me. There's so much fucking, like, love in this. I can't even. Am I just reading into it, or does anybody else feel this? That was our last day spent at Harrington Academy. We were no longer considered children, but young adults responsible for what would become of the future. I was nervous, uncertain that I was ready to step into a whole new world. That is, until I simply thought of it as a whole new beginning at Marple's side. Special recipe, proof of my friendship with Marple. It's a special recipe she inherited from her grandmother. Charmed end. Yay! All right, so this one was a little under 30 minutes, but it is what it is.
Let's go to our gallery and check out our marbles.
God damn it. All right, so this was the first one of Marple we got. She's fucking adorable. And this is the other one. I love this one too, but I know that's the one we just got, but this is our Marple, so we're just gonna end on just Marple. So yeah. What we will do in the next part is we are going to start the Baker Street Boys ending, and I don't know if that is like Marple and Kobayashi, if it's shorter or if it's longer, like the normal kind of endings. Because you know what I mean. The other ones are normally like 4 or 5, 6, but they're very long. But this one, do we? Oh my God, we have to. Can we not use? Oh fuck, we're gonna have a lot of skipping. Yeah, wow. No, we're gonna do a lot of skipping in this one, so we'll have to start at the very beginning and skip through. But we get to after the gathering is when it ends, so I'm assuming it'll be like this. Will be like a half-hour part, so it shouldn't be too long. It might be a little bit longer because we got to do a lot of skipping, like I said, because I'm not quite sure if some of these choices are different, because it doesn't say like pick start here, choose end to, or you know what I mean. So like common to or any of the saves we've already done, it makes it look like there isn't one. So anyway, that's that. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.